What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Grey Exchange with your host, Grey, a community talk show, right? All right, folks. So let me see how a few of you folks in chat. And that being said, anybody comes across this during the replay, you might want to skip past the first 5 minutes of where I'm saying hello to some of the folks in chat that are here live on this stuff. So let me back up this chat and say hello to some of you folks, and then we'll get into this. What's up, Harvey? Good to see you. Little Miss Prepper, Mama Bear J15, Monty's in the house, Tiny Titan, JT, Acres Quarter Acre, like that. Deacon Prepper, have a great day. Blue Vandal, Frank Short, KT's in the house, Joni. Let me see, Snake Bite, Diacasio, Glenna Hayes. I'm glad you're here, Glenna. I'm really glad you're here. And you'll see why. What's up, Prepper Cowboy? Chief Prepper's in the house. What's up, Chief? How you doing out there? All right, Prepper Cowboy. Good to see you. You know, funny about that Prepper Cowboy, I decided to rewatch both Red Dawn, the original, and the remake the other day. It was late in the evening. I couldn't sleep, and I decided to watch that. Moving on. Oslander, good to see you. As always. What's up, Jeff? Jeff, my neighbor, Jeff. I call Jeff my neighbor because he's not too far away. What's up, Mark? Gas has gone down 0.5%. Well, you know, Mark, we're going to talk about that. So I hope people don't get their hopes up too much. All right. Colleen Rich, Empress Kimberly. Jan is in the house as well. Good to see you, Jan. Love my mods. What's up, Scott? All right. Baba Ellis is also here. Ragnar's here. Always good to see you as well. Let me see. We got Jeff. And trying to see what Jeff says here. Yeah, man, Jeff, a lot of gloom and doom out there, man. And unfortunately, that's what we're consumed with. What's up, Yarn Prepper? Good to see you as well. Let me see here. Mike, did I say what's up, Mike? Mike Styles, good to see the rest of us all caught up with me. Does this mean I'm normal? Yes, Mike, it means you're normal. My rural maker life, hello from Balmy, Pennsylvania. All right, Bitter Critters in the house. Barbara's here. Gotso8566. Treadle Sewing Nana, good evening. Marcus Prada. What's up, Marcus? Good to see you. I was like, that name's look familiar. Cindy Rice, Sunset, B. Walker, Van City, good to see you as well. Silly Eagle, S. Moore, Bell Prepper, Cooking Sherry, Rena LaRue, Karen Murphy, Diane Nichols. Man, all you guys are jumping in here, huh? Ultimate Creations, Patty McD, Big Papa Meta. What is going on, brother? Oh, man. Glenna Hayes, Sharon. I can't say her last name, Sharon, but awesome. Sunset, Elizabeth White, Sue, Ethel. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Victoria Rose, Big Dogs in the house, Celtic. Man, there's a lot of you guys. Time has begun. And I think I might have caught up with everybody. If I missed any of you guys, I do apologize. Julie F., Dina Walters, John Connors, Mike Stiles. I think I got everybody. I'm just making sure. Don Glossinger. Pure Blood is in the house. What's up, Pure Blood? S. Moore from Canada. Raka. Let me see. I think I got everybody. All right. So first of all, what I want to say is, something's been brought to my attention over the last week or so. And if anybody's watching this right now that's not subscribed, and they're wondering if you have to pay some sort of money to watch my videos, you do not. The subscription things, when you go to, if you're watching right now, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. You don't have to subscribe. There's no cost to being a subscriber. It's just, I like it to anybody who's watching the content that wants to interact with the content and subscribe to the channel. Kind of keeps the crazies out. You know what I mean? All right. What's up, Kim's Real Life? Good to see you. Jennifer Cruz. Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, exactly, Barbara. Thumbs up, y'all. Thumbs up. We got 95 in the house, 66 thumbs up. Doing well so far. Before we get into the nitty gritty, there's a couple things I wanted to bring up. Does that mean he will pay us to watch? I try. Right, Mike? You can always try, right, man? Hey, Sandra, how you doing? So if you guys noticed, I'm getting a little bit different with my thumbnails, and it's been, you know, people have talked about it for the last 6 months and have mentioned it to me. And I do like the format. And what I mean, because you guys are probably like, what is Grey talking about? Is he insane? Yes, Grey is insane, folks. Did I do something? Did I miss? Oh, I must have brought it down. Anyways, let me bring it back up. So let me show you guys something real quick to explain what I'm talking about, so you don't seem lost. Let me switch this over so I can see the comments still. So if you guys have noticed, I've been doing something different, and you guys probably know that a lot of the big boys do this, and I figured out why. So let me add this real quick. So you guys see this whole thing here, you know, and it's funny, it took me a while to figure this out, but this whole bumper part right here, I like it because it gives the rest of the thumbnail room to do what it needs to do, to, relay the message. And yes, the world has gone crazy, folks. Anyways, that's what I'm talking about there. And let me switch this back off so we don't be staring at this the whole time. You can stare at my face instead. If I can figure out how to get my mouse to this screen over here. All right, so a couple of things before we get started in the whole nitty gritty of the world's gone absolutely crazy. I want to say thank you to a couple people. First, I got here, Van City. Thank you for this. I love it when I get cards. I haven't got cards in a while, and I got 2 cards. I got a little bit of stuff in the mail, just 2 things. We'll go over it real quickly. But Van City Prepper sent me this little card, and it says, "Hey, Grey, most essential prep coffee." I like how you did that coffee thing right there. Let me see if that'll focus on there. Most essential prep coffee. Anyways, it says, "We wanted to say hello and thank you for having us over on your channel. Here's a Canadian-made eco felt coffee coaster made from corn and wood. Sorry, you guys know how I mess up my words. Take care and keep stacking, Van City Preppers. Love it." And this is the little coffee thing. So I'm going to be putting my mug here on my desk on that. That's pretty cool. I know it's hard to see on camera, but that's what Van City sent me. And the next one is going to be, I don't want to read the whole thing, Glenna, but I'm going to read the first part. But Glenna Hayes sent me something, a nice little card as well. And Glenna says, "Dear GreyMan and family, thank you so much for all the awesome info and videos. They are always appreciated, and I have learned so much from them. Just know how that you are so awesome for sharing all of your wisdom and knowledge. Continually, I'm prepping." It says, "I really enjoy collecting defense weapons as well." I think that's kind of cool, being that you're from Cali. And I like the part where you wrote, "Always your friend." So I appreciate that, Glenna. And Hugo, or Hug. Love and hugs, Glenna. I don't know why I said, where did Hugo come from, Grey? Who knows? You know how Grey is sometimes, because Grey's gone crazy. But yeah, I appreciate that, Jenna. And I did sneak, a little taste of the, come on, there you go, the jalapeno jelly. So thank you so much for that, Jenna. I will truly enjoy that. I like the taste. I had to stick my finger in it and try it out. What's up, W4R? RP Strange, what's up from your Central Florida neighbors? What's up? What's up, JRC? Sally popping in there as well. And who else? I saw a couple other people. Mittens in the house as well. Did I get you, Raka? I hope I did. Anyways, if I missed anybody, again, I see Rachel in there as well. Bitter Critter, Deacon. Let me see. I think I got everybody. Hopefully. Anyways, what's up, Lily B? Lori Q from Hudson Valley. What's going on? Since in 99 afternoon. So folks are going to wonder why I say the world's crazy. Just, folks, every time I turn around, something is crazy, right? It just keeps on getting out of hand. And we're going to discuss that because some people like, oh, crap. Before I go there, I want to do one last thing, and then we'll get into the topic. My apologies. There's a channel I found. Maybe some of you guys are aware of this channel. I've been trying to figure out, how do I get information out of Russia? Russia's locked down to the point where it's hard to read their news. It's hard to, everything is getting banned. So I've been trying to find out about Russia. Well, I found a channel that I would say it's a Russian channel. He was, if I read it correctly, he lived in California for years and then moved back. But anyways, his name is The Inside Russia. And I like his take on things. And it's kind of intriguing to see his point of view of what's going on. He's definitely against what the situation is going on. Very nice guy. I don't know him personally. I'd like to have him on the channel one of these times if I could ever get a hold of him. I just don't know how I would get a hold of him. But that being said, let me show you his channel real quick. And if you do go happen to check his channel out and you leave a comment, just tell him GreyMan Prepping or Grey sent you over there, and maybe he'll be able to find a way to get a hold of me. So let me bring that up real quick. But this is his channel here, Inside Russia. Living in today's Russia explained, no propaganda, no fake news, no BS. Anyways, what drew me to the channel was his gas prices in Russia after the economic sanctions. And funny enough, gas is actually pretty cheap there. He breaks it down per rubles and then into dollars and whatnot. Now, what he did say is the cost of food and stuff has gone up tremendously in Russia because of the sanctions and whatnot. I feel bad for the guy. He says McDonald's is leaving Russia. I think he said that's his last McDonald's. Anyways, just wanted to share that real quick. And I thought it was pretty interesting to say the least. And I can't see my screen, so let me see. I mod for, oh, really, Yarn? Yarn, if you have a way to get a hold of him, I'd love to have him on the channel just to discuss what's going on, his perspective. If you could reach out to him for me or have a way of getting a hold of him, I would appreciate that, Yarn. It's always good to know someone. Lily B says, Pinball is friends with him if you want to get a hold of him. Oh, really? Wow. So I guess he is in the prepping community. That's pretty intriguing. What's up, Kimberly Stover? What's up, Lewis? Sanity about understanding there. Yeah, right? I agree, RC. What's up, Dragon? Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see Dragon in the house. All right, so let's get into this, folks. Let's get into what I want to talk about and why I think the world has just gone nuts. So this is how you know the world has really gone nuts. When I'm going to use CNN, I'm going to use CNN Business because every article that I found on this topic referenced CNN's article. And I'm like, CNN out of all places. Now, surprisingly, it's not like CNN's getting a wake-up call. I don't know if you guys know that I think it's Discovery bought CNN, and they plan on cleaning house with that network. Curious to see how it plays out. They want to get back to just news and not politics or, left-leaning or right-leaning. They just want to shoot straight at the hip. Who knows? We shall see, right? Right now, not a fan, but I'm going to use this article because it makes sense. Speaking of oil prices, some people might have seen, like in my area, prices dropped 6 cents. It's anywhere from $4.27 to $4.39, depending on what gas station you go to. So people are like, hey, yay, gas is going lower. Something must have got fixed. I'm thinking, no way it just got fixed just like that. So something else had to play into this or whatnot. So I wanted to talk about this. What's up, Monashi? Good to see you. Yeah, I know. Have a great day. I understand, but we're going to use, man. This was dated March 15th, which is what today, right? Yeah, March 15th, 4 o'clock, only a couple hours ago. Anyways, it says, after Russia invaded Ukraine, global oil prices experienced a dramatic spike just over a week ago. Brent crude leaped to $139 a barrel, man. That's nuts. Analysts warn prices could touch $185 and then $200 a barrel as traders shunned Russian oil, pushing inflation even higher and adding huge strain to the global economy. And folks, the reason I'm using these articles is so folks don't think I'm crazy and just spouting off of the mouth that I have no idea what I'm talking about. That's why I brought these articles up so you guys can see them. Anyways, it said, but there's been a rapid reversal since then. Brent crude futures, the global benchmark, has centered almost 30% from their peak. Matter of fact, just as of late, has settled below $100 per barrel for the first time this month after shedding another 6.5% on Tuesday. And then it talks about the stocks, which I don't really care about. So why is this happening? That's my question. So it says, yet, analysts warn that we are not out of the woods yet. Oil is still trading significantly above what it costs to produce it, and extreme swings are likely to persist at the moment of huge uncertainty. I wouldn't rule out $200 a barrel just yet. So people, don't get comfortable just yet. Don't think that things are going to start going in this backwards reversal thing, that gas prices are going to drop tremendously. They're still expecting gas prices to rise to at least $4.50 by late spring, early summer, being that folks are going to get out and start driving. Anyways, the guy, his name is Bjornor. I can't even say his name. Head of oil markets at Rystad Energy told me it's too soon. And I agree, it is too soon. It talks about the invasion and all that stuff like that. I'm not going to dive through the whole thing. But here's the key thing is a lot of people have forget about this, and a lot of folks don't want to hear about it. But the current health crisis is still around. Matter of fact, just before I came live, a good old Heels Up, her husband just got diagnosed. And of course, what's his name? I guess I could say his name, but the president before Trump, he got it as well. So it's still floating around. And so it's still around. I'm going to get more into that because it's not really, you're not seeing as much here in the news because they're focused on the Ukraine and Russia thing, which I understand. Maybe they're trying to move, make people think it's all gone, but it's not. At least for some folks, you know what I mean? I don't want to see like I'm trying to, angst the whole situation that, it is gone and it's never coming back. Anyways, it says, where was it at? Here's one of the issues. It says investors have been racing to dump stocks in Chinese companies as worries grow about the consequences of crackdown from regulators and spike in Omicron cases, whether Beijing could provide support to Russia and punished by the West for doing so and adding to the fear. So anyways, basically, let me jump back into chat real quick so I can see you guys. And then we'll get back into that. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Our adult kids are finally opening their eyes. There's hope for 20-somethings. Yeah, JM. You know, it's funny that you say that. Let me see. Oh, I just saw something. But what did Rena say? Yeah, Rena, I did see that as well. Yeah, that's right. Give us the Easter doom on, right? Yeah, Easter, right? Can't see your family again, right? Anyways, so people are starting to see some relief at the pump, and they're going to get that false sense of security. And I don't want people to do that. And this is why, this is why I say prepare like there's no tomorrow, because there's a lot of other things and factors that are playing here. And some people get complacent. And I hope you, the viewers out here, don't, because the masses are the ones that get complacent and then create these issues down the road, you know, like panic buying and whatnot. Matter of fact, I'm not going to harp on it too much, but a lot of people are using TikTok for their news, right? And the current administration is using that to their advantage. Yeah, I saw that, Empress Kimberly. I don't know why they did that. That's why I said the world's gone crazy. Not only that, not only did Russia sanction Biden and Blinken and everybody else and a few other people's, and Elon Musk is having Twitter wars with someone talking about fighting Putin with one hand behind his back. And there's just so much, like, people are just, it seems like some people are just taking this like it's a joke, right? And it's not, folks. People are dying. Things are happening bad. And I wanted to dig into why the Ukrainians are risking life and limb for their sovereignty of their country. And I dug a little deeper and I found something, and I don't know if you guys were aware of that. And I do want to share that as well. What's up, Rose? Good to see you as well. I hear you, Monashi. I was so confused by it. He even changed his name on Twitter to Elena Musk. I don't even know. Anyways, back to my TikTok rant. People are using TikTok as a news, specifically the younger generation. The younger generation, there's been over, I think, a million hits on it's Putin's fault that our economy is the way it is. It's Putin's fault that gas is the way it is, because that's what the current administration wants to push. And the masses, especially this generation, and I'm not going to say everyone in that generation is bad, because there's some good people. I've met some young folks that are pretty intelligent, and they're not falling for the crap, to say the least. But that's where they're putting these hashtags, and that's what's trending on TikTok, is that the oil prices and gas prices are all Putin's fault, to take the blame off the Dems that are in Washington, to make everything seem like they're doing everything right and it's all Putin's fault. But regardless of how horrible or a nasty person he is, most of us know the truth from that, right? I hope most of you guys do. Sure, it exacerbated things, and it's going to continue to exacerbate things, but there's some funny and weird stuff going on in this country. So let me bring up some more fun stuff to look at. What's up, Raptor Ranch? Good to see you. What's up, Bruce? Good to see you as well. Let's bring up the next little tidbit of info that I got here for you. We talked about this the other day, and I just want to bring it up again because we talked about the fertilizer shortage thing that's going on, right? Because of Russia's exports and what Russia is doing with the fertilizer. Anyways, this is from Town Hall. It says, and here it is. That's the title. Fertilizer shortage indicate an even bigger crisis is looming, which I said, I think I might have discussed this on Sunday, because people don't understand with this whole fertilizer shortage, it creates a massive issue for our farmers and food. Literally, I had a comment of a guy said, hey, I think it was on the Sunday Shift Report. He left a comment saying, there's been food lines since 2020. And I kind of understood. I didn't want to take it too out of context. I didn't even answer it, but which is unlike me, but I'm trying to ignore some of the stuff out there. But all in all, yeah, I'm pretty sure that there was food lines in 2020 because of the health crisis. But here's what they're missing out. Thank you. I wonder if I could say that correctly. Georgi Labernev. Georgi, hopefully I got that right. Thank you joining for the Grey family. Truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate the support. I got monitors all over me, so I'm trying to keep it on things. Anyway, so we got this fertilizer crisis, right? And it says, as inflation wholesale prices soar past 10% and gas prices continue to surge, economists and farmers across the country are warning about another looming crisis. Farmers are seeing fertilizer shortage combined with higher water and fuel prices costs are set to soar and food becomes less available. Now, one thing I wanted to show you here, it says, and this is to me what pulled me into this article. It says, this guy had a conversation with a farm today. He said meat processors booked out a year because people are stockpiling beef. So, you know, you can buy a whole cow. Like here locally, we can buy a whole cow for $5,000. Some people go, like a family will go into it. You know, several people will say, okay, we'll put the money up and you get a whole cow processed, packaged and everything, and you get some meat. But like I said, some of these folks are booked out for a year. It says farmers in the South can't get fertilizer for crops now. Farmers in the Midwest are switching and can't get nitrogen nor fertilizer. So that's a double whammy right there. And it says, buckle up, folks. The media is not warning you. And this is where people like myself and others come into play. And then I like this part here. It says, this is from a friend who is a farmer. He told me the cost of water is becoming astronomical as well. It's almost $800 per acre. Imagine that. You have a small farm or even a mid-sized farm, $800 an acre to water your crops. Watch this summer. This summer, if we get any type of crazy droughts or any type of situations like that, it's going to exacerbate the situation so much more. And folks, all I can say is keep on prepping. Prepping in 2022 is huge. And this is why you gotta, folks, it's such a scary factor to think about the people that are not paying attention to situations like this, you know? Anyways, just wanted to share that with you folks. It's just getting outrageous. And hopefully you guys are stacking it to the rafters. You know, people think it's a joke. People think that people are overthinking things. People, they look at some of the preppers as we're insane, but it's not, man. It's food security for our families. If you've ever paid attention to any type of other countries and the things that they've gone through, imagine what's going on in the Ukraine right now. Imagine what's going on in other places of the world, third world countries. You know, people think it can never happen here in the US. It can never happen. And that's all I ever hear is people say it'll never happen here. And I hate people who think that way. And I hate's a strong word. I dislike or don't agree with people that think that way. Anyways, let me go ahead and clear this out. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. This has to do with the Ukraine's history. I was unaware of this. Being that we're on the topic of the food situation, and I guess this is a documentary. As you can see, good old Stalin there. It was called Holdomor's Death Toll. The Ukrainian famine known as Holodomor, which means death in Ukrainian, a combination of the Ukrainian words for starvation and to inflict death, by one estimate claimed the lives of 3.9 million people, about 13% of their population, folks. And unlike other families in history caused by blight or drought, this was caused when a dictator wanted both to replace Ukraine's small farms with state-run collectives and punish independence-minded Ukrainians who posed a threat to his totalitarian authority. So let me bring this down for a second and jump back into chat. Get rid of that real quick. Excuse me. So a couple of things. So now I understand why the Ukrainian people are probably going to fight tooth and nail no matter what happens to their country until their last breath, right? Yeah, Sunset, I agree. I agree, and that's probably why what's going on with their situation. I was reading Sin Sins. Yeah, JM at the Nut House, Venezuela much. Exactly. Here's the thing is, folks, we've talked about this. I know you guys have tried. There's lots of channels that have talked about this whole situation. We have folks like Bill Gates, right? And I'll probably get slapped for saying his name, right? But honestly, they've been buying up farmlands. Like I told you, only 30,000 small farms exist, folks. It might even be less at this point. They're not getting the incentives. So many things are happening to our farmers in this country is ridiculous. The Chinese, look at how much farmland the Chinese have bought in this country. And we look at them, you know, we as American citizens look at the Chinese government as communist, as dictators. And I'm going to show you how hardcore these Chinese people can be. Not the people, the governments. Whenever I'm talking about a country, I'm talking about the governments, not the people. Please let me reiterate that. Not the people, the government. But where was I at? I was going somewhere with this. But so if the government controls our food, think about what Stalin did to the Ukrainians in that situation. So don't ever think that it cannot happen here. Yes, I'm assuming that we, the people, would revolt. Guaranteed that would happen. And it's a different dynamics here in the U.S. I understand that 100%. But there's some folks that will probably get into that situation where they starve to death due to the fact that because they're unprepared. So this is just one of the components of why I think preparedness is such an important thing, and people take it for granted. Whoops, that was oh, Yarn, I went to go read your thing and I missed it. Monashi prepping, yes, agree. What's up, Ms. Me today? Good to see you as well. That should have never happened. Great. Yeah, I agree. It is shameful. 100%. What's Hodges 1445? Good to see you. Speaking of which, some of our, how do I explain this? Some people think that there'll never ever be boots on the ground in this country. I'm assuming that it would be detrimental to not only people that would be trying to invade this country, but also to some of the people that are unprepared. Again, so let me show you something what I'm talking about. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, I truly appreciate it if you would. So wars have been fought over oil, and still being fought over oil, right? And also wars have been fought over the US dollar. And what I mean by that is our Federal Reserve. Rudy over at Alaska Prepper really gave me some great information last week when we had a conversation and how the Federal Reserve played into the war with Iraq even. And it was very interesting to say the least, you know, and I want to pause this real quick. So let's take a look at what's transpiring and how this may affect the US dollar. Basically, the US dollar is our lifeblood currently for some folks. Just imagine if the US dollar falters and it becomes worthless, like Venezuela and other countries. So it says Saudi Arabia reportedly considering accepting yuan instead of the dollar for oil sales. So Saudi Arabia is looking at a way to start accepting Chinese currency instead of US currency for oil. So what's that tell you about China and Russia? And I'm going to show you how this all ties in with China and Russia as well, because it's not only the Saudis. Let me skip down here real quick. It says, I hate these little pop-ups. It says Saudi and Chinese officials are in talks to price some of the Gulf nations' oil sales in yuan rather than dollars or euros. The Wall Street Journal reported on Tuesday, citing people familiar with the matter. Two nations have intermittently discussed the matter for 6 years, but talks have reportedly stepped up in 2022. And I don't know how to say his name, with Rida, disgruntled over the United States' nuclear negotiations with Iran and its lack of backing for Saudi Arabia's military operations in neighboring Yemen. Nearly 80% of the global oil sales are priced in dollars, and since the mid-1970s, the Saudis have exclusively used the dollar for oil trading as part of the security agreement with the U.S. government, according to the Journal. So they have a security agreement with the U.S., and again, 80%. So imagine the Saudis start, instead of using the U.S. dollar, they start using the yen, as that's how I think that's properly pronunciation. I'm probably saying it wrong, but the yen. Excuse me. So let's move over real quick. Let me close this out and bring the next article up. Now we have Russia and India. Russia and India. So now we have Russia, India, China, and the Saudis all doing something different than they would expect to be doing in this situation. It says Russia, India explore opening alternate payment channels amid sanctions. So India and Russia are trying to figure out a way around the U.S. sanctions. And from my understanding, this administration said anybody who supports their Russian government is going to have hell to pay, per se, right? So we'll see how this all plays out, because I'm really curious where things are going to go. Anyways, it says both sides are discussing accepting RuPay and Mir cards within national payment infrastructures. It says Russia, many of whose banks have been cut off from SWIFT financial network, is exploring opening alternative payment channels with India, including linking Unified Payments Interface, UPI, with faster payment systems of the Bank of Russia to continue cross-border trades. So the sanctions that the U.S. thinks it's going to do everything to demolish the powers that be in Russia, they're finding ways around it. And again, I spoke about this in regards to the Chinese and what they're doing and how they're assisting Russia. And of course, now you saw the U.S. The U.S. has now threatened China in regards to sanctions as well. China has threatened the U.S. We touched on that. So this is where we're at, folks. All these countries are threatening each other. Some countries are trying to support their situation. It's all about money. I'm telling you that, money and power, which also leads to oil and gas, which again is the lifeblood of this of the world economy. You think the U.S. dollar, but I'm thinking more oil and gas is going to be a lot more than, because without oil and gas, you have no transportation sector. So you have no, everything can't be electric, right? You know what I mean? People say, well, I have an electric car, I don't need gas. I said, so what are you going to do if there's some sort of storm that knocks out power for a couple of weeks? How are you going to charge your electric vehicle? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking in my head. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking we're hurricane prone here in the U.S. Or what about if you're in Alaska where they have lots of cloudy days and you're trying to use solar to charge your electric vehicle? So without power, coal or fossil fuels, I just think the whole, I understand the whole electric car thing, but I just don't think that's the end all to solve all kind of thing. Anyways, here's what scares me the most, folks, and then we'll get back to the chat real quick, is whenever you see this man's face, something is up. And if you guys don't know who this guy is, this is George Soros. One of the most evil people that I could possibly think of. He's usually behind a lot of the things because he's one of the most richest, wealthiest powerhouses in this on the globe, in the entire world. Anyways, it says Soros worried about Putin and Xi partnership, hopes both leaders can be stopped before they destroy our civilization. So when you see George Soros saying that he wants to stop, he's hoping that Putin and Xi are stopped. Just imagine what's going on behind closed doors with the powers that be. Yeah, exactly, Rainbow. Exactly. What's going on, House of Lamar? John Davis was fully stocked up today, but prices are going up fast. God, I wish I saw two things that were odd in the last couple of days. And I'm going to say it. One of them I can say without blushing, but one of them is candy. I went to the candy aisle because my daughter likes to have candy, has little snacks here and there. She's a kid. She likes candy. The candy aisle was wiped out. And I thought that was really weird. So I went to the next aisle and the next aisle, and there was very, very little candy. So I thought that was a little weird. I took a picture of it. Maybe I'll show it up on I'll show it next time I get a chance. Anyways, now for you ladies out there, for the ladies that are watching my channel right now, and she's probably going to get mad that I'm going to bring this up on a live stream amongst 270 some people that are in the stream right now. But I went to go buy, I want to say it's women's hygiene products. I went to go buy some. I went to my local grocery store. They had 4 boxes on the shelf. I agree, Monashi. They had 4 boxes on the shelf of these women hygiene products. And you guys know, hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. I do get a little blushy when it comes to saying that, but you guys know what I mean. So then I went to 2 other stores and they were in the same situation. So I thought to myself, when did this happen? When had these gone off the market? When has the supply chain with these specific items disappeared? And I was shocked that it took me going to 3 different stores to find some for the ladies of the house. Thank you, Dottie A. I appreciate that. I figure I'm going to make some of you folks laugh, but it is Savage Prepper. Savage Prepper says what? It's women products, man. Things that you would get for your wife once a month or something like that. You know what I mean? It just it's hard for me to say, because I want to say it right. Hold on. I think someone said it for me. What's up, Frontier Preppers? Hold on. Rainbow Obsidian. We know what you mean. It's natural. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Let me see. Where are you at, Obsidian? Peaceful. There. Well, Oki said it as well. Thank you, Oki. And some Monashi. Someone said, I saw something. There you go. And Peaceful said, where is that, Peaceful? I thought I saw you up there saying cotton shortage. Thank you, Peaceful Acre Farms. And so that's when I started digging into that, and come to find out, yeah, there's a shortage in specific types of fibers and cotton and stuff like that. Had no clue this was going on, and I should have been aware of some of this stuff, and I'm just shocked that I wasn't. YJ Overlander RC, that's not because solar isn't legitimate. It's because those people don't prioritize it. So in regards to solar, I love solar, guys. Solar for certain aspects. I would not bet my entire life on solar. Solar comes in very handy, especially for emergency situations. Here in Florida, solar is a different ball game in regards to having solar for secondary power. Some people can live off the grid off solar, depending on where you live. What's up, Thor Haven? I'm doing well, thank you. Right on, diabetic. Yeah, right, Rainbow. So I like my solar gear. I like my solar Jennies, and I plan on doing a review, another one that got sent to me that's a pretty little awesome device. I'll be sharing that here soon. Sorry, I'm just reading chat real quick. Right on, Rainbow. The Mint stopped production on Peace dollars and Morgans due to silver blank shortages. I love Peace dollars, right? Empress Kimberly, everything is becoming, every time you turn around a corner, there's something there's a shortage of, and it's all going to culminate to a massive shortage of everything. Shortage of everything. Agreed, John Prepper, 100%. 100%. So that's what I did. So today, right on, Big Chap. So today, I, myself, thinking, being the guy who I am, I went around buying stuff to add to the preps, because I was like, I just don't think about it as much. I have like some backups, but I was thinking to myself, wow, I'm a little short on this because it's not the forefront of my thoughts. And I need to start thinking for my daughter and my wife outside of just what I think we need as a whole, or what I need, like food and stuff like that. But some of these things are very important to the ladies in our lives. You know what I mean? But anyways, so let's move on to the next thing I wanted to show you guys, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on in China right now, and it's crazy because a lot of people think that the healthcare or the health crisis is done. I guess it's popped off in China a lot worse than they've had in a long time, at least from the information that we're getting. Now, if China says that they're having a problem, it's probably 10 times as bad. Let me see, where do I have that at? Here we go. So let me bring this back up, split the screen a little bit. And it says China locks down 51 million. China locks down 51 million people as the Charlie Victor surges across the country. Excuse me. It says inside a newly shuttered Chinese hospital deemed the nation's latest Charlie Victor outbreak hotspot, overworked nurses started a shouting match with doctors demanding basic measures of protection. So think about this, folks. When this whole thing started, China was hoarding PPE. Now they're saying, the nurses and doctors are saying they don't have enough. Anyways, it says at some Chinese, check this out, at Chinese universities, right here, I'm going to highlight this one just because this is how crazy it is. This is the Chinese government and what they're doing to their people. It says at some Chinese universities, students broke down in tears after some were sealed inside their dorm rooms without access to water or toilets. They don't have access to the most essential thing in life, water. What do you think is going to happen to those folks? What do you think is going to happen to those folks if they go with 3 days without water? It's not a good thing. Anyways, it says elsewhere in some rental apartments, tenants were shocked to learn they had to pack up within hours because they were considered their home would be converted into quarantine facilities. So this is what's happening in China, folks. And this is what's I'm going to skip to the next article I have here. I'll get rid of that one. It says China lockdowns expected to worsen supply chain crisis, inflation pressure. So this is going to exacerbate our situation here at home. This is why I'm bringing it up. And yes, I don't care what anybody says. The U.S. is one of the biggest importers across the globe. We import over $1 trillion worth of goods a year into this country, and a lot of it comes from China. It says lockdowns are spreading throughout China as authorities try to contain fresh outbreaks despite the country's Charlie Victor zero strategy. The new Charlie Victor infections are increasingly in the mainland, topping 10,000 cases since March 1st. Now, to me, I would add, several zeros to that 10,000 cases. At least that's how I feel, just because what we get out of the Chinese government and their propaganda media side of things, that's going to be an issue. Anyways, the situation unfolding in China is triggering economic concerns worldwide. So expect to see things get a little bit worse. Let me drop that down and bring myself back up. And let me see what's going on in chat. Broussard Homestead, what's up, man? Broussard Homestead, can't wait to see everyone burning their made in China stuff. Right on, Broussard. What's up, Tina Mitchell? Good to see you as well. UFO sighting. Oh, wait, it's just an alien prepper. Howdy. Dragon, you got me. What's up, Texas T? Texas T, we are 40 minutes in, brother. 40 minutes in. And Oslander says it better than anybody. I love Os. Always full of great information. But Oslander says, all Western nations are totally dependent on China for everything. Treason by our own governments. And matter of fact, Oslander, you just made me think about something. I just watched a 60-minute special, not a U.S. 60-minute special. What's up, Hawkeye? Good to see you as well, brother. Okie Prepper as well. Good to see you. I saw something. Yes, Okie Prepper. I have stocked up on those. But I wanted to get some things that are more convenient for the ladies. Anyways, I watched a 60-minute special in Australia. It was an Australian-based 60-minute special, and they talked about Taiwan and China and basically Armageddon. And it was quite intriguing to see what China was saying to the reporter in Australia, basically saying that, no, Taiwan belongs to us, and it will belong to us no matter what anybody says, and they're going to take it eventually. That's basically what I gathered from that. But they also talked about, Australia developing their nuclear subs. They talked about a lot about different military might and stuff like that, because basically they said that the Chinese army is inexperienced, even though they're very up to date on their gear. And what I mean by that is they've been modernized. The Chinese military has been modernized heavily through all the money that they make off the U.S. citizens because of our government, that all we do is import Chinese products. But anyways, back. I don't want to go on a rant here. But anyways, where was I going with this? God, I got lost now. But anyways, you guys understand that basically China's military, okay, that's where I was at. Chinese military is modernized. China's military lacks experience. Okay, so here in the U.S., our folks, we've been at war in Afghanistan, Iraq. We had the issue in Kuwait. We've been doing a lot of stuff. So our soldiers have had 5, 6, 7, 8 tours. So they're battle ready, battle experienced. China in itself, and maybe I'm wrong, but from what I've looked in China's army, is they haven't invaded a country, I think, since Vietnam. Or no, was it Vietnam? I think it was Vietnam. Something had to do with Vietnam. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, so I do apologize. Yeah, I agree. Russia doesn't look too great either. I think where Russia has now the U.S. versus Russia. I've talked about this one-on-one. We have a superiority in certain things that we can do. We can sustain things a lot longer than other countries can. Always prepping. Thank you for joining the Grey family. Truly appreciate the support. Now we can't exactly, Sunset. Thank you, Alan. Border war with Vietnam in 1979. Vietnam spanked them. Thank you, Alan. Truly appreciate that. I love when you guys get involved in the conversation. It's very appreciated. Let me see. Mary Beth, water, food, fuel, propane, wood, gas. Sorry, I just looking at chat real quick. Where was I? So yes, our logistics and our supply chain per se in the military is awesome. We can come into a country, if that's what we're going to end up doing. If we move into a country and attack a country, let's say like Iraq, we can sustain it for long periods of time, because literally we can drop troops on the ground. The Army Corps of Engineers are awesome folks. They can literally just put a bridge together. They can build a base within probably less than a day, man. These guys are phenomenal folks for what they can do. And then we can sustain that supply line through what we do here. Little Alaskan home place. Thank you so much for joining the Grey family as well. I truly appreciate that. There's more China 99-cent stores have their actual right. Hawkeye, did you order it from Wish? Yeah, you guys are making me laugh. Arkansas Whoop-ass, good to see you. I heard that India beat the Chinese pretty badly in a skirmish last year in the mountains of India-Chinese border. Don't mess with this. Yeah, but here's that's what's funny is that India, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, several of those folks are working together, folks. No matter how we look at it, behind closed doors, they got their own little thing going. GreyMan says, scroll up. I'm looking for you, Yarn. What did I miss? What did I miss? Did you see the proposed Maryland law to legalize? Yes. I saw that, Yarn. It's horrible, to say the least. Matter of fact, anybody who voted for Mitt Romney, Oh man. So Mitt Romney voted against someone who's running for Senate and endorsed someone who's been endorsed by Corn Pop. And you guys know what I mean by Corn Pop, the guy that's running stuff in Washington per se, to say the least, right? Anyways, they voted for a guy to bring into the Senate that's that's for that. I don't want to say it on the channel because some people get smacked for saying that. You guys can write it, but what Yarn said, and that was horrible. I was like, so Mitt Romney is 100% hardcore rhino. You folks in Utah need to vote that gentleman out as soon as you have the opportunity to do so, because I'm pretty sure the Republican majority in Utah doesn't feel the same way that Mitt Romney does. He's always, God, man, he's just, he irks me to say the least. What's up, Minute Man? Let me see here. I shouldn't have explained. Yeah, right on, Mike. Whoops. I'm trying to see what you guys are talking about. Right on, Miss Me Today. We can't infringe totally on our Second Amendment, or not our First Amendment to freedom to speak, even though that we get hammered all the time here on these different types of social media platforms. Luckily, I try to speak in a certain way that we can still get the message out without getting hammered too hard. Luckily, things have gone relatively well. I can't complain too much. What's up, William Pence? Sorry. Understand, Rainbow. I understand that. So I have one more article that I want to get to you before the hour is up. And we have 196 thumbs up. I truly appreciate that. You guys are awesome folks. Truly appreciate you guys being here and listening to me ramble on and talk about some of these topics. And if you do get any value out of that, please hit that thumbs up. So let me bring this last article that I want to go over with. And it's very quick. It's very short. And then we'll get into just finishing up the stream with all whatever you guys want to talk about, because we still have about another 12 minutes. Anyways, let me bring this up real quick so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. So it doesn't look like I'm going crazy. All right. So this is what concerns me, that it says the war in Indo-Pacific could reach U.S. mainland. Army Secretary. So basically, two of our Army's two top leaders fear that something could happen overseas. You got Russia, Ukraine, you got China, Taiwan, you got other things happening, right? There's a lot of chess pieces being moved across the board. Anyways, it says the next war that the United States fights could see hostilities erupt in the American homeland. So literally a Red Dawn scenario. According to the Army's two top leaders, the homeland really isn't a sanctuary anymore, said Army Secretary Christine Wormuth during a March 15th interview with Hudson Institute, a Washington-based think tank. Let me move this down just a hair bit. It says, if we were to get into a real shooting war, our homeland would be part of that theater. So the comments became amid a discussion of the role of the U.S. Army in the Indo-Pacific as tensions rise between aggressive regional powers such as China and North Korea, with the democratic nations of Japan and South Korea being at risk. So that makes me think, if these people are pondering it, if these think tanks are coming up with these concerns, what are the possibilities of something like that happen? What is the possibilities of us here in the United States seeing boots on the grounds from other countries? Now we see Blue Dawn in DC. Right on, KT. You see Malachi's Corner, very little cat food here. I can find that gallon for jars over. Snake Body, I agree. I don't put anything. People always ask me like, hey, did you hear this? And I'm like, man, I'm not surprised at anything that I see anymore when it comes to what's going to happen the next day. So, and that's what I meant by the title of this video, is prepare like there's no tomorrow. Because people will get focused on the wrong things. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, hey, gas went down 5 cents. Yay. Awesome. Well, if gas went down 5 cents, stock up on some more gas because it's going to go back up. We are in a time frame where things are chaotic. The market's chaotic. Gas prices are chaotic. The crude oil is chaotic. And other nations are starting to think outside the box in regards to how to get around the U.S. dollar. So if the U.S. dollar starts to lose its and we all talked about this. The U.S. dollar is like fiat currency. All they do is print it. There's no guarantee behind the U.S. dollar. After Nixon took us off the gold standard, there's been no guarantee behind the U.S. dollar. Pure blood. That's a question I ask myself. We've only seen we've only seen one little small part. People have been asking that, like, Russia, they're getting their butts handed to them in the Ukraine and stuff like that. But I don't see it that way. And here's why reason, because now I could be misled by the propaganda that our news stations are pushing out, the propaganda that other countries are pushing out. It's a massive propaganda war. So to know exactly what's happening, all I know for one thing is people are dying. When I saw those mass graves, I saw mass graves and people being pushed into these mass graves because people are dying so fast. So if this is just the tip of the spear of the Russian army, and they have so many more troops coming in, matter of fact, what is it? The Chechnyan soldiers, and there's some other folks that are moving into that area region, and no one knows if it's 16,000 or 60,000 Chechnyan soldiers. Have a great day. That's a fear. Just imagine, folks, the U.S. dollar just goes kaput in general. It loses the majority of its value, like it's already have. I think it's lost most of its value. We went over a graph here once before to show you how much the dollar has lost its value. So imagine places like the United Emirates, Saudi Arabia, India, Russia, and China. They all start dumping the U.S. dollar in trading, and let's say the Chinese currency, the yen. Or start trading in gold and silver like they have. Remember, last year, China and Russia both started dumping U.S. dollar and investing heavily into precious metals. And if you guys know, we look at silver as an odd option for some folks. There's only a certain amount of silver on the planet, right? And some people say, I hear this funny story about silver. Someone says, well, Elon Musk is going to go to a meteorite and it's going to be rich with gold and silver and all this stuff like that. Folks, that's probably 50 to 100, maybe several hundred years away before we can actually mine an asteroid and bring it back. It's not cost effective. It takes rocket fuel, which is a fossil fuel, which they're trying to ban. Think about that. Green energy rockets. Where's green energy rockets going to come from? I've never even heard of the concept. Maybe I'm the first person to ever say green energy rockets in one sentence. But think about that. So people are depending on something else. I depend on what's tangible, what's here, what we have in this country that's available to us now, not what might happen or what might be down the road, 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. I'm only going to live so long. So all I'm going to do for myself and my family, and which I hope that you do for yours, is prepare for the worst possible case scenario, the best that you can. Neon Reaper, what's up? Good to see you from Michigan. We have another folks from. Have a great day. It's not too late to save my retirement. I'll be honest with you guys. Peter Rouse, I did see that as well. I heard there might have been 3 Green Berets or something like that got lost in that whole situation. But where was I at? Man, I lost my train of thought now. Shoot. What's up, D14? Good to see you. Money. Oh, so silver. I've taken a lot of my savings. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to do what I do, but I'm going to tell you what I've done. The amount of fiat currency or the money that I put into the bank is just enough to cover bills. All the rest of that money, I usually invest into silver or food or medical supplies, books, anything that I find that's tangible for myself, my family, for trading, for bartering, for any of that stuff like that. So silver, and this is how I look at silver. It's wealth retention. People say, well, if the world ends, your silver is worthless. Not necessarily. You can't 100% with authority say that, because other countries that are going through famine, that have their currency has been hyperinflated, they're using precious metals to survive. Right now in Russia, they're using precious metals to do stuff, to survive, to pay for stuff. Right now in Venezuela, they're using precious metals to do stuff. Folks, you need to think outside the box when things happen. So no, and I understand some folks can't afford silver. People can't go out and just dump money into silver. I understand that. So then you grab the necessities that's important to you: food, water, medical, all that stuff like that. Do what you can with your money that you think is best for you and your family. But the thing is don't trust the banking system. If we've learned from history in itself, through the Great Depression, history repeats itself, folks. And in the situation that we're in right now, our economic situation right now is looking dire. And I pray that one day I come back to this video, the world is gravy, everything is good, we're all wealthy, everybody's happy, everybody's fed, there's no famine, there's no starvation, nothing to worry about. I pray that that's the way things end up. But from my perspective, I just don't see it like that right now. And if that ever happens, I'll be the first to come on YouTube and say, hey, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. But I don't think that things are going to work out that way, because there's always an agenda. There's always something that's around the corner. If the health crisis didn't work, now we have the war with Ukraine, but the health crisis is still looming in the background. Then we have the supply chain. Then we have the gas issues. There's so many things that are compounding life as we see it right now. What's the harm in being prepared? What's the harm? Folks, we've seen the things that happened in Texas with the freeze. We've seen the things that happen with tornadoes. We've seen the things that happen with hurricanes. The people who lived through Katrina, people who lived through other hurricanes here in Florida will tell you that after something like that happened to them, which unfortunately after the fact is sometimes too late, they started prepping. People are prepping that don't even understand that what prepper means. But they're preppers without knowing that they're preppers. Having that little bit of extras, like someone says, hey, I want to get a month extra of my medication, or hey, let me get a little extra of this. Technically, that's prepping. It's that simple. Prepping doesn't mean that you're waiting for an asteroid to hit the planet. You're not waiting for the zombies to rise out of the ground. God forbid, right? Prepping just means that you're doing something for an emergency situation, aka emergency preparedness, folks. I know I'm preaching to the choir in the aspect that a lot of you folks that are watching this channel right now are watching me are preppers or in the preparedness field or homesteaders or gardeners and stuff like that. You guys are on the ball, but we are a minority of folks. And I wish by making this channel that as I grow and my message spreads throughout communities and people find my channel and others like it, that they become more in tune how important that prepping is. Yes, Sandra, exactly. Stocking up on my testosterone right on Peter House. You guys are awesome. Dreams Acres, good to see you. Say prepper, and that's what it is, folks. Prepping is not just a hobby. Prepping is just not something that you do for a couple of months. It's a lifestyle, and you incorporate that into this lifestyle. You know, think about this. If you want to take it to the bare necessities, think about when the power goes out in your house, having some extra candles, having a lantern, having batteries, having flashlights, things like that, especially if you have young children at home. Think about how much that means to them. Don't think just because for yourself, but think about your family. Think about the children, if you have children or grandkids, you know. And sometimes I know when you're talking to family, it's like preaching to people that don't want to listen. They're like, oh, no, you're one of the crazies. You don't need that much food. You don't need that much water. And if anything ever happens, guess who they're going to come to? Well, I know my grandma or my mom, my dad, or whoever, my uncle, my aunt, my friend, they always say that thing. Well, if anything ever happens, I'm going to your house. But we don't prep for them, folks. Most people don't prep for them. We prep for our immediate family. We have our own plan. We have our own preps to protect our families. And I mean, to me, that's how I look at it. Anyways, folks, I think I've kind of went through enough rants, and I think that I've went through enough information for you guys to see that don't get complacent. Just please don't get complacent. If you see gas prices drop a few cents, that doesn't mean anything. Just think about this. About a year or so ago, gas was down to a couple of bucks. Look where it's at now. Do you think, and everybody knows how gas prices are. Gas prices skyrocket, and it takes it forever to come back down. And like I always say, gas is just one part of this equation, because gas, your planes, your trains, your trucks, everything takes gas to move around this world. The farmers need gas for their tractors, diesel, whatever it may be. And just think about how gas or oil in general, petroleum products, there's petroleum products in everything from makeup to plastics to everything else. There's so much more to just saying the word gas or the word oil. It means so much more in the grand scheme of things, you know? Because with the gas prices being higher, everything else is going to go up, because the transportation, they're going to incur that cost, and then they're going to raise prices on food. And we've seen food costs jump 20, 30, 40, 50% on certain items. So it's not going to slow down. I hope it slows down. I would love to see a break. You know what I mean? We folks, we the viewers, we the people here in this country and countries across the globe can take a breather for a second and regroup, instead of just being balls to the walls and just trying to do everything you possibly can, because people are scared, folks. People are literally scared of what might happen. And that's going to, unfortunately, people sometimes when people are scared, they make bad decisions. So here, I'm going to leave you with this to kind of wrap up this thing. is yes, and I say this all the time, and I do. Right on, Tina Mitchell. Right on. Right on, Tina. Where was I going with this? I was going to say something. Boy, sometimes I'll look at chat and get lost like a deer in headlights, folks. All in all, what was I going to say? Come on, Grey, you can get it together. You only got a couple minutes left. Man, Tina got me. Tina got me. Right on minute, man. That's another important thing. Exactly, AM Ryan. I agree, Ken. Acres, that's a good way to put it. Prepare for a hurricane in the winter. Wow, good in the woods. That is insane. That is insane. Yeah, and like I said, I was saying that we could use a relief or a breather. It's to, yes, folks, be informed. Understand what's going on. You need to be aware of a lot of things that are happening overseas. Some people say that, well, I don't want to focus on what's going on in Russia or Ukraine or China. I don't care about what's happening there. Everything that happens in this world is interconnected. It's like a web. Everything is interconnected. So when things start to fall apart somewhere else, there's a trickle effect down the road, and that affects everyone across the globe in every country. You know, just imagine what we're going through. Imagine some of the third world countries, what they're going through. Now, some of these folks are more used to that situation, so they can bear with it. But the food crisis is going to hit them way harder than it's going to hit some of us here in the States or in other places that, you know, like let's say Canada, Australia, and other places like that, that have a little bit more access to things. You know what I mean? But all in all, focus on what you can worry about. Worry about yourself, worry about your family, worry about things in your immediate grasp. But be aware of everything else. I don't want you to, where your head to explode and just feel like you're getting lost. Sometimes you'll need to go out in the woods, take a break, spend time with your family, go hang out with loved ones, have a meal or two with, let's say if you haven't seen your mom and your dad in a while, go hang out with them for a little bit and just take a break and enjoy life. You still have to, with everything going on in the world, you please take a moment and enjoy life. Take your family somewhere, go to the beach, go to the mountains, go on a trail, go on a hike, whatever that may be, and take a breather for yourself because you're going to need it, folks. Do what I do. I love going on hikes, but also going in the garden, working with my plants, being in that soil. You know what I mean? It's just fun. And it's a way to digress and calm things down a little bit. You know what I mean? And slow it down. Sunshine Every Day says, question, I need advice, please. I live in a small neighborhood in the country. There are small towns nearby. Should I pay off my mortgage or keep the money towards more secluded location? Sunshine, it depends on what's going to work best for you. I don't want to ever give someone financial advice because I'm not the one to really give you that kind of advice. Here's what I'm doing. I just bought a piece of property that's in a very rural area. So I'm investing into that. If being debt-free is key, because whenever you're not debt-free, the government can do funny stuff with you. Debt-free is the way to live. Sometimes that's why minimalism can be beneficial to certain people's lives as well. That's why you see the tiny house thing, how that's kind of blown up over the last few years. People are becoming more mobile, like the van life folks and the RV folks. They don't hunker down in one spot. They're more mobile, but people are doing these things to be debt free. That's my goal. I'm not yet debt free. I would love to say here on this channel that, hey, GreyMan is debt free. I wish I was. There's still things that I'm working on paying off. And mortgage is hard, but depending on what your mortgage is. If you only have a few $1,000s and you can afford it to pay off your mortgage, then I would say yes, do it, knock it out, get it. That's one less thing that you got to worry about. Ink scars, yes. That's a good way to put it, Ink. It says best thing to do is respond to any situation, never react. Are you from our military? Because that reminds me of my military days as well. Fat Man, what's up? Yes, I did buy a property, Fat Man. I haven't seen you in a while. Minuteman69 is debt-free. Preps before debts for me now. Yeah, don't put yourself in debt buying preps. Don't ever max out your credit cards buying preps because you're in fear. You don't want to do things out of fear. That's where you make mistakes, folks. That's where you make mistakes. Anyways, folks, I feel like I've talked enough. Hopefully that you did get some value out of this live stream. As always, I always look forward to reading some comments afterwards. I'll watch this live stream over to see what comments and things that I missed. And stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, check out my playlist. I have a lot of different information on there. that you guys can check out. I know some of you folks have seen every video that I've made, which I truly appreciate that. You guys are awesome. But that being said, I want to thank every single person that's watching me right now and that watch me every day or whenever they get a chance to watch one of my videos. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate your support. It means the world to me more than most folks would ever know. That being said, mods, love you guys. You guys always keep it family friendly here on the channel as best as we can be sometimes, even though sometimes these topics can be a little bit heated. Whoops, I just saw someone that said they were new. Fired for Truth. Thank you and welcome, Fired for Truth. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I appreciate that. The Rios 7018, glad to find this channel. Thank you, Rios. I appreciate that as well. And yes, you know, blessings to everyone out there. And again, mods, I love you guys. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you for what you're doing. You guys, again, are the unsung heroes of the YouTube verse. You guys help things run smoother, you know, like the grease or the gears behind this thing, man. I truly appreciate that. Yes, Frank, the morning does come early. I appreciate you hanging out with us, Frank. Other than that, I want to say this is GreyMan, and I will see you guys. I think I'm going to be doing a garden video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. As long as the weather doesn't permit, but I'll be pumping something out. Let me see. And thank you all. Thank you all for the support. I truly appreciate that. And if any of you guys are out there, I saw something scroll by, but I can't come past it. Something about 1,000 subs. Email me, and I'll try to promote your channel if I can. The more of us out there, the better. The more of us out there spreading the message of preparedness is huge for me. I'm not one to, you know, I'll check out the channel myself and subscribe and see what you got. I like to see other people doing the same thing that I'm doing. All right, folks. God bless. Please stay safe out there. I'll see you guys in a rebound. This is GreyMan. I'm out.